Hey traders, Jason here with Day Trading Fearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. Also make sure you check out the links below for my free Discord room, S&P Emini future weekly trade zones, $50 for a lifetime subscription, and $8 for my Patreon swing trade stock and option alert. So with that being said, let's jump right into this video. This is what exactly is market profile. Okay, so on the chart, you're going to see a couple different things, right? We actually have currently a 10-day, 5-minute market profile or a chart, right? With regular trading hours. So I could see where gaps are, right? Because we closed here on day one, open the next morning up here. So that shows a gap, right? So this is just a basic price chart. But then in addition, you actually have all this gray area here, and this gray area here is volume. Okay, and this is what market profile is. If you think about it, normally we're so used to volume being like this down here, right? Which is based on each candle. Okay, so if during one 5-minute candle there's a ton of volume comes in, you're going to see a big volume spike. Well, with market profile, what we actually see is price. Think of that same volume down here on its side, but instead of based on each candle, it's based on each time frame. Okay, so at maybe 4,700 even, we actually have a high volume node. And just real quick, these yellow lines right here are value area high, value area low. This red line is also the same as this white line. I just have them colored different for different things, but essentially they are the same exact thing. They're called the POC, or the point of control. Okay, and this is where most of the volume has traded, and then your value area high to your value area low, all of this, right, volume has traded is 70% of all the volume that's traded. So the other 30% of that 70 is from here to here, and then from here to here. Okay, on this chart, I don't have any value area highs or lows. I don't necessarily care for them for what I'm doing over on this chart, because this is just a point of control. Where's the most volume traded? But also it is mainly based on where I do kind of, let me show where my open VPOCs are. Like, so we closed here today. Well, the most volume that trade this entire day is this white line, which would be 46.95 even. Okay, so normally there would be this area right here starting tomorrow. If we gap up to overnight and we open here, okay, then this down here would actually be this would be a naked VPOC, right, where it has not been tested yet. So that would be an open VPOC, right? With that being said, all these gray areas, they tell a story. Okay, and the story I like to tell is, think of them as branches, right? This is one big tree. And you got a little monkey climbing up the tree, right? And as the monkey climbs the tree, what happens is you actually have what are called low volume nodes. Right here's a low volume node, and then you have high volume nodes, the highest peak. So from this entire move right here, this would be our high volume peak or high volume node. From here to here, this or even this area right here is our low volume node, right? It's the lowest volume that traded. And then you come down here, look at this, right? Here's a huge low volume node. But if we come over here and we look, okay, why is this a low volume node? Well, because price really didn't trade here, right? Bounced at the top, so there really wasn't much traded. Opened, ran up, not a lot of time or volume traded there. Here, kind of came straight down, blew through, and then on the way back up, blew through. It's not like we went sideways during that time. Like, look at this, right? You just kept going back and forth, over and over and over. And look at this, right? You have all of this high volume node right here. But with that being said, this here is the highest volume node on this entire chart. Now, going back to the monkey, so the monkey's climbing the tree, all of a sudden he falls. Well, think of the low volume nodes as maybe a branch that is maybe, we'll say, hangs out a foot. That's it, right? So as a monkey falls, if he falls out of the tree and he starts to go outwards, he's probably not going to bounce off that branch, right? So whenever you see a low volume node, one of two things will happen. Price will either blow right through, or think of it this way, is the trajectory of the monkey kind of went inwards and then bounced and goes up, right? You usually don't trade around the very first retest of a low volume node, right? You either blow right through or come right to it. The buyers step in and it kind of rockets back up. That's what a low volume node is and does. With that being said, a high volume node is, so let's say the monkey falls, he misses the low volume node. Well, the high volume node is like a 5-foot branch, right? So as the monkey's falling, he's coming down, boom, think of it as a support level. And what'll usually happen is it'll bounce or it'll churn. It'll just go sideways, right? Up, down, and start to build the volume node out more. So you could see, think of this as our monkey. He falls out of the tree and then comes to the high volume node and then just starts to bounce, right? Think of it as a big tree. It bends down a little bit, so it overshoots it a little bit, but then it comes back up and he's just bouncing up and down. So hopefully that kind of gives you guys a clear aspect of what exactly is market profile. Now, one quick thing I will say is, how do you trade them? Well, just understand high volume nodes, you can bounce at the top, in the middle, at the very back end of it, but normally you see buyers step in. Look at this, right? We kind of were way up here, open, come shoot right through this big high volume node, and price just blew through it. But then down at the back of this high volume node, the buyer stepped in, and look at what happened. It pushes up, goes sideways for a little bit, and then it just continues forward. So market profile, to sum this video up, think of market profile as a tool, not a be-all, okay? Don't be like, okay, once it gets here, I'm getting long right here, okay? Because you could see price will blow through. What I've learned over my, 20 plus years and probably 10 to 15 of understanding and using market profile is it's a tool. When we get there, what's the overall market doing, right? Is it a news event? What's the structure of the market? Are we breaking below a major support level, right? That we hit multiple times. Touch, support, come, poke our head up and then reverse and blow right through. Okay, so there are all these different things that you have to watch out for and learn, and look for other things that can actually support that level that you want to be a buyer if it's a high volume node. So hopefully that video helps. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. But as always, thank you for watching my videos, and until next time, we'll talk to you soon.